Hey Yakuza, what's up? Welcome to day 2 of my business trip in Japan, and you're gonna go through me being passive aggressive.
You're treating me like I just came to Japan, it's funny.
Some drama happening because I probably didn't behave professional enough. And the infamous Nomikai where we had beer after beer after beer. And of course, many other funny moments with the team. Enjoy! If you're new to this channel, my name is Ila. On social media, I go by Crazy La. I've been living in Japan for about 5 years now, and every Sunday I upload a video about my life in Japan. I do different type of things. I do street interview, I do indoor chat, I call friends and other people and we talk about some other topics. We basically just share our experience living in the country of the rising sun. And in this video, I'm gonna be showing you my day number 2 of a business trip that I had in Japan last month in April 2022. So we wake up in the morning with the idea of going to be meeting clients, and we had to be really early because the first client had to be met downtown in Okayama City at about 10 a.m. So I made sure to get ready very fast when I woke up, just so that I will not slow down the team. And usually in my experience with Japanese people, they tend to wake up pretty early and do their preparation real fast, and I can be pretty slow because I have to take care of my hair, I have to do some makeup, to arrange stuffs here and there. So after preparing myself, I went to do my breakfast by myself. I wasn't sure if we had to do it in group again like the dinner, so without asking and without losing time, I just prepared my bread and then a fruit, and then I started eating. I also realized that the female of the group were preparing the breakfast for everybody else and the male were in the other room, and when it was ready, the female were proposing to the male to eat or bringing them their food. And I was like, oh my god, this is exactly what I heard about Japan, like men have to sit there and women have to prepare for things. But I was actually wrong, because my colleagues, of course I asked them in a subtle way like, okay, thank you for doing all this, and they were like, no, everybody else was also helping. So I felt like, okay, let's stop stereotyping. After breakfast, all of us were ready to meet the client. It would take us about an hour and 30 minutes to reach the meeting point. And I was too excited, but at the same time very scared to see how I'm going to behave or if I'm going to do some mistake on the road or during the meeting.
I have no idea.
Look at this. And I wanted to show you how the house looks like from outside in daylight, because when we came it was pretty dark, and I was impressed by this roof because they say it's one of the most expensive type of roofs in Japan and it's pretty hard to maintain. On the road, I had the occasion to admire again the nature and the countryside of Japan, how the houses look like. I was thinking maybe they look different from Kanto, Tokyo area, but they're pretty much the same type of construction, just that you have a lot more nature surrounding it. I guess that's the definition of countryside though.
This is the museum. This is the Japan Blue.
We finally arrive at the destination, and our first client is Japan Blue. This video is not sponsored by Japan Blue, but if you guys are into sustainable fashion and you want to purchase quality jeans that are upcycle, recycle, I highly recommend the website of Japan Blue for you to have a unique design and also something that lasts very long. So in Japanese business manners, the first thing you have to do when you're meeting clients or other people in the business area, you have to exchange your business card. And it's done in a special way depending on the ranking of the person who is in front of you. For example, if the person is superior to you in a certain way, maybe age, maybe grade, maybe, I don't know, position in the company, when you're giving your business card, it should be under his or hers. If not, it's okay for the two business cards to be exactly parallel. After that, the client distributed green tea, which is a sort of welcoming us and be ready for the talk. Our manager proceeded to introduce all of us, each of us in our role in the company and what we're going to do for them and with them. It threw a lot of flowers on me, so I kind of felt shy when he was talking about me in a certain pedestal, but it also feels nice to be valued and your skills be recognized in a company, and especially by someone who is far way superior in the position. Here I want you to notice where exactly the manager placed the business card that he received from the client. So when you are doing these deals, you want to remember the position and the name of the person you're talking to, and sometimes it's difficult. So he took their business card and put it in front of his computer in a way that the client will not see it, but he will always try to refer to it and to ask deeper questions that are specific to their roles. So then it was the turn of the other side, the clients, to introduce themselves and to introduce their business. Now don't get me wrong, the two parts has never met live, but they have already talked and exchanged email here and there, so everybody knows pretty much what each other does, but this was just to make the deal a little bit more human. So each part presented the business, and we were talking about the deal that we're trying to make, and we were also allowed to raise our concern and how things are going to be done and how each part prefers things to be done. So probably this is where everybody in his role in the company can have a specific input to make the deal even better. Right after each other's company was well presented and introduced, we were guided to a factory tour to understand even deeper, understand the souls of our client business. Japan Blue emphasizes in artisanal type of making clothes. They don't want to use machines very much because that is like their ethical point of view, or let's say that is their selling point. So you can see how every employee is making small, slightless details of the jeans. Now, observe the moments that's coming right after this, because it's gonna be a group photo, and just look at what I'm doing around. Of course, I didn't know what I was doing wrong, and then I realized that my colleagues were kind of talking about something. You know when something is going wrong and there is like, I just felt like, what's going on? So when I got upstairs to get into the factory, one of my colleagues told me, hey, we were told that we were a little bit loud, and when the manager is trying to take picture, we're getting a little bit too much in the way, and it's not exactly professional. And I was like, wait a goddamn minute, what? Now that I'm editing and I went back to the group photo, I still don't understand what exactly was done wrong at that moment. But you know, as I said before, it's very difficult for me to understand all Japanese business manners, and even for Japanese themselves, it's very tough because there are just so many of them, actually way too many of them. I would probably summarize it as, don't try to make people pay attention to you and like disappear and make yourself small. So after that, I just tried my best to disappear and to not really isolate myself from the group, but just to do my thing in my corner, because the most important part was done. We already met the client and talked, and the rest was just about visits. So I really tried myself to just not get into the group, because I was sure that no matter what I do, there is something that I will do wrong without even noticing that I'm doing it wrong. So yeah, it got a little bit stressful for me at this point. So we then went to visit a little bit of the city just to understand how or to which extent our client's business is expanded in the city. And let me tell you, it was amazing to see jean themes cities, jean themes vending machine, and you can see that the overall city is governed or is dominated by the fact that they produce jean. So it was pretty amazing.
Feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day. I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, la, 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 la.
We went to this little shop where everybody could take a souvenir, and my favorite item from the company was of course this bag. I couldn't buy it, but I'm thinking of buying it online. I also like this one because it reminded me of Prison Break. Oh my god, Prison Break. I was like in love with Wentworth Miller. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing his name right, you know. And then I found out he was gay. I was like, what? Tiger-san bought this blue drink and he loved it, and I thought he looked nice with it, so I took photos of him. This is still how much our client's business is expanded, and you can see everything is made by hands. The visit was almost over, and this is how we greeted the client. Just observe how people were bowing and things they were saying. We completed the meeting of first client and now it was time to eat. Everybody agreed that we should go to a sushi bar, and your girl doesn't digest rice. I told you before in the video number 1 that I knew I would be surrounded by Japanese people, so it would be all about rice. And I couldn't say no because everybody agreed, and I didn't want to be again the person that would do things wrong or differently, so I just went to the sushi bar. My curse is I love sushi, so now I depend on everything they put on it, but we'll try to avoid eating rice. Mission impossible. The menu was completely in Japanese, so I couldn't even choose what topping of the sushi that I would have. What's that?
It's a, it's a fish.
Very good explanation.
But of course my colleagues were there to help. I also discovered that my boss is particularly into wasabi. So if you're familiar with sushi bars in Japan, you're supposed to be accumulating the plates because that's how much you will help the waiters to count for the bill. And we ate so many sushi. Look at them plates. That was a tower. After lunch, everybody was relaxed and happy, especially me, and we went to meet client number 2. Now observe the way we're sitting on the table. We got in the room before our managers and our superior, and my 2 female colleagues were telling me, hey, you're not supposed to sit anywhere because normally the boss is the one sitting the farthest possible from the door, and people that have a lower position in Japanese rules should be sitting next to the door. And then because my boss is such a chill person, when he came in, he didn't really care. He was like, sit anywhere you want, and he wanted to sit next to the door. Love him.
It's so beautiful, you and me, we meant to be.
After meeting client number 2, we decided that the meeting was too short and we went to eat with them. This is where the Nomikai, the famous Nomikai, where everybody is supposed to drink, relax and say things they're not supposed to say, will happen. So because my colleagues are so caring with me, they kept telling me things to do, here and there, put this left, put this right, get in there, because they know that I don't speak Japanese, right? But then this happened.
See the truth around you.
There you go.
From a distance you can
I have to say, it is a little bit on me for being defensive because they don't know how much of the Japanese culture I actually know, so they tend to guide me for my own good. But then at some point I was also annoyed because I don't want to be treated like a kid, you feel me? So this was pretty funny.
The great outdoors, forever free.
So yeah, we went to this yakiniku bar. I was way too excited because remember, we are in Okayama, we're very close to Kobe, and Kobe is known for nice meat. So I thought Okayama would have a little bit of that influence as well, so we'll have high quality meat. And boy, it was good. We spent time talking about projects, the job, and how things goes in the company, and everybody was relaxed. I'm not really into beer, so I didn't order alcohol, and nobody got drunk, but I'm telling you, we were so chill, and it was so nice to watch. Overall, the day went well, even though there were just a little bit of friction, and that just because we are very different people, very different education and culture. But I appreciate the fact that my colleagues were keeping me on track and telling me things I should do and not do. That's very nice of them, and that made my experience even better. Thank you so much for watching. I hope I'll see you in the next video of my day 3 where I did something very, how to say, you'll just see how it goes.